Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Eddie, and I am once more getting the inspiration. I'm getting the itch to draw Gijinka. I don't think I've explained it much yet, but Pokemon is one of my favorite video game franchises ever. I got into it in 4th grade when I was given someone's copy of Pokemon Blue, and I've never looked back. I've played tons of their games, got my own plushie collection started, I collect the cards, and even some of my OCs were initially Pokemon Gijinkas. If anyone's curious, this is my list of favorite Pokemon by type. Let me know if we share a fave in the comments, or if you just want to gush about your faves in general, you should. Also, I'll leave the website link in the description if you want to make your own version. If you go to Pokemon's official website, you can go to the Pokédex tab, and there you'll find a button that'll give you a small randomized list of Pokemon. The idea for this prompt is to choose 3 to 4-ish Pokemon out of that list and design their human versions. That way it takes the pressure off of choosing from 1 out of 1,025, but still gives me some power to draw what I want. At first I was going to use Google's number generator to give me a number. I was then going to find the Pokemon under that number in the Pokédex and draw them, but I got Conkeldurr first try, and I didn't want to do that for my first Gijinka. I am so sorry, Conkeldurr fans. Maybe one day I'll feel compelled to try designing them. I am just not a fan of this design personally. Thank God for the Pokédex randomizer though. I feel like I struck gold with this list of mons. They even gave me Dragapult first try. I actually want to begin my first Gijinka with Florges. My thought process was that she's already a design that can translate really well into a human. I mean, she's basically almost human, just fairy-shaped, if that makes sense. I know that might sound lazy, but I actually really like Florges. I even used one in my Violet playthrough until Tinkaton stole my heart. Maybe I could atone for my abandoning her by making her an elegant design. I start by making a small Pinterest board, just trying to get my ideas all in one place, that way I can really focus on the concept art. If you want to see my Pokemon Gijinka board, I'll link it in the description, that way if you want to design your own Florges or any other Pokemon, you can have an idea of maybe where to start or something. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah, it's there if you want to use it. What you're looking at right now is me just trying to come up with a concept in the first place. I probably won't show you this step in every video I do, it's just I'm a little strapped for time this month, and I'm also working on next month's video too, so I only designed 3 characters instead of 4. I apologize, I hope these girlies are enough to satisfy. But yeah, I wanted to show how I started blocking in shapes and colors for my concept art instead of just sketching it straight out. I don't know why I started doing this recently, but every time I go to design a character now, I go about it like I'm painting instead of drawing, and I found the initial process to be more fun. I wish I could explain it better, but yeah, I've been going through a bit of a block specifically with digital art, and so I've been trying to revive the process a little bit. And that's the concept art for Florges. Spoiler alert, she's probably my favorite design in this whole video. I even went as far as to paint her on the inside of a new sketchbook I got this year and everything. She's so elegant and beautiful. And in her final render, I ended up becoming inspired to continue my more painterly blocking, kinda just to see if I liked it more than my usual method of line art, base color, shade light, and finish. This time I mesh the line art and base color together and go from there, finishing the hair and face completely before getting on with the clothes. I end up doing this for all 3 designs I do today, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think I'm just going to have to play around more with how I want to render my fictional character designs in the future. I need to work on my light sources especially, if I'm being honest, but that didn't pop into my head until the last design. Even saying that out loud sounds silly. I promise I'm good at art, guys. Don't look at what's on screen right now. Just trust me. For Florges specifically, though, I have to say the face-up is phenomenal. I usually struggle with faces a lot more than I usually do, but I found this tutorial on Twitter that shows off the primary color face blocking thing that a lot of artists do, and I think the artist broke it down in a really easy to understand way, and suddenly everything clicked. I feel like I can't go back to how I used to paint my faces. This is incredible. I'll be sure to put it up at some point so you can use it too if you want. This tutorial is a lifesaver, let me tell ya. As for the lore of this specific batch of Gijinkas, I figured I'd pull a classic OC making move and come up with some interesting facts as I drew. That's right, no proper planning, as usual, just pure vibes. I think this Florges is a lounge singer for like a high-class cocktail bar. I figured these girls were still in the world of Pokemon, so they're still human, they just dress like Pokemon, and this outfit is her stage look. She's definitely the headliner of the joint and has been performing there for years, although I think she dreams of bigger venues. That's it for Florges. Let me know what you think of her in the comments. Personally, I like that I gave her more of a busy look. I think she's a very bombastic kind of Pokemon, and I wanted to do that justice. Next up is Cherubi. I felt I had such a great start with Florges that I wanted to keep the momentum up with another cutesy Pokemon. And let's be real, this is such an underrated mon, someone's gotta give my girl the love she deserves. Just like last time, I began by making a Pinterest board, though I had a bit of a harder time figuring out what my angle for Cherubi was gonna be. Most of the time, a Gijinka's age is determined by which evolution stage the Pokemon is at. Shinx would be a child until it becomes a teenager at Luxio, and then finally an adult at Luxray. Personally, I think this makes the most sense, as with that example, Game Freak specifically intended for the Luxray line to grow up as it evolved. However, with Cherubi, I think it's a little more complicated, or at least my take is. Hold on, let me explain. See, in this fake world I'm making up as I go along, I think Cherubi is the spunky protag. Maybe her mom or some other idol she had growing up inspired her to become a singer, and she just got hired at the same lounge as Florges and is working under her wing. By the way, I definitely think they've got some romantic tension going on throughout the story. I think at the start of this story, Cherubi doesn't necessarily have what it takes to be a successful performer, but as the slice of life kind of thing continues, she becomes more sure of herself and just a better entertainer all around. When Cherubi finally finishes her character development, boom, she's dressed as Cherrim's sunny form. That's right, baby, Cherubi is in the baby Evo stage not because of age, but because of character development. I just think it'd be a fun way to tackle Cherubi considering she only goes through one evolution. Sure, you can break down Cherrim into their overcast and sunny form, but like with Florges' different forms, I'd just turn them into different performing outfits they'd sometimes wear. Comment if you ever want a part 2 where I expand on their universe or something. That could be cool. I could design Florges and Cherubi/Cherrim's different forms. That would kind of be fun, I think. Anyways, here's human Cherubi. Everything from her head down to her waist is definitely some of my favorite character design I've done in recent times, though I do think I could have zhuzhed the bottom up more. Still, I think it's a solid design and I hope you like her. Finally, for our last Pokemon, I chose Psyduck. I purposely wanted to do a side character after designing the protagonists that are Florges and Cherubi, and I figured Psyduck would make for a really good sidekick / best friend for Cherubi. My Pinterest board became quickly filled up with loads of super girly, frilly Lolita type dresses. Psyduck is already a really funny, really relatable and cutesy kind of character, so I figured that type of design would translate really well into a popular Gijinka. Though Florges is my favorite character from this batch, I definitely had the most fun designing Psyduck. Since I was only able to work with the Pokemon's color palette for the most part, I figured I'd try to make the design interesting through adding lots of detail, another reason why I chose the fashion style I did. I try my best to give all of the characters I designed distinct features, that way I don't run into the dreaded territory of same face syndrome. But I know my body types can definitely use some work. I think Psyduck is the perfect opportunity to practice a different body shape than I'm used to, so I want to try making my character chubbier this time around. I'm looking at a lot of different models and drawing guides to help me make Psyduck look realistic, and I have to say, I think I ended up doing a good job in the end. And stop! First off, if you made it this far into the video, thanks for sticking around. You've probably noticed how so far I've been referring to the Gijinkas by their original names, Florges, Cherubi, and Psyduck. I've been having a bit of trouble naming this batch of cutie pies, so I wanted to take the opportunity to ask my viewers what you think their names should be. Comment down below your ideas and you could be featured in next month's video when I reveal my favorites. Anyways, sorry for the interruption. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Psyduck in this universe is a waitress at a neighboring Pokemon-made cafe. I think Cherubi frequented the place when she first moved to the big city, and Psyduck and her became fast friends due to their shared love of music and performing. Unfortunately for Psyduck though, she was never able to make it farther than school choir groups as a kid because of her crippling stage fright and her head-splitting migraines that seemed to worsen under the stage lights. She'll often frequent the lounge that Cherubi and Florges work at anyways, half to support her friend, half just to live vicariously through the lounge singers. And there we have it, my latest batch of Pokemon Gijinkas. I had a lot of fun with this video, especially with the randomizing aspect of it. I highly recommend you trying this prompt out for yourself. I think you'll find it to be both challenging and rewarding at the same time. And hey, if you do end up making any of your own human Pokemon designs, my social media links will be in the description of this video. Feel free to tag me so I can see your designs. Let me know if you guys want to see this become a series. I'd love to do this again sometime. Question of the day is simple. What names would you give my Pokemon Gijinkas? I'm excited to see what you guys come up with. Feel free to follow me on any social medias I'm on, and hey, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm hoping to have next month's video out early, so be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, go make some cringe art. I'm Eddie, signing out.